Assalamu alaikum, Imam. لكل داء دواء. Now, this hadith is so essential in therapy because for every problem, there's a solution, but there's also a matching process. And that's what we in psychology call diagnosis. Based on some assessment, we start to answer a very, very, very important question. What treatment, by who, is most effective for this specific person with that specific problem under those specific circumstances? And the last part of that is the hardest thing to explain. How does it come about? And I'm talking about the field of psychology. Most therapies do not explain how it happens. They just have these theories that if you're genuine, if you're congruent, if you have positive, unconditional positive regard for the person, that relationship will help the transformation. How? We don't know. Like a seed. There's a nourishing environment around the seed, the soil, the water, the sunlight, but we don't even know what happens to the seed to allow it to come out. From an Islamic perspective, we do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, لِكُلِّ دَاءٍ دَوَاءٍ. We know that the answer and how it comes about is found in the Quran and the Sunnah. That's what makes Islamic counseling so much more powerful than counseling psychology, because we can demonstrate the evidence. أَفْشُوا السَّلَامَ بَيْنَكُمْ, for example. If you have somebody who is fighting with a friend or a brother or a family member, one of the first screening questions would be, when was the last time you gave salam? Often people avoid the people they have problems with. But imagine bringing them together. And think about it, in the community, how many good brothers and sisters are not talking at all because of something so trivial? Afshu salam bainakum becomes not just a principle, but an intervention as well. And I'll be sharing many, many different simple techniques, hoping that you'll see how it can add to the framework that you already have. But one thing I need to make very, very clear from the onset. Advice is saying the right things. Counseling is responding to the right things. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us recognize that difference. Because again, you can say the right things, they're definitely the right things, but are they right things in that moment for that person with that specific situation under those circumstances? And the thing that you're saying, does it truly push them forward? And where are they going towards? These are all questions that might seem overwhelming at first, especially if you're an imam with less experience than others or less training than others. But your framework for therapy should include answers to those fundamental questions. And at the end of the day, nasiha does not mean advice. It's part of it, but that's not what it means. You and I both know that. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep growing that ability to give better nasiha, and have that ikhlas towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wa li kitabihi, and so forth and so on, inshallah. Jazakallah khair, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.